Good morning, my friends. Hope you're having a great day. I've been quite excited to talk to you about this book today from my library. Now, don't expect to see this in bookshops. It's published 1999, but it's in part of my library that is all on the research section. Now, I love any concept which helps you understand yourself better, helps you understand your behaviour better, helps you understand what motivates you. And so I love this book, and yet I don't think it's that well known. So this is a concept that I have been experimenting with ever since I discovered this, and I found it to be true in so many cases, and it explains so much about blended families. So let me just share it with you. First of all, it's called The New Birth Order Book. The New Birth Order Book by Dr. Kevin Lehman. And it talks about the behaviour that we develop depending on where we come within the family. So let me give you a little rundown. So as an eldest child, normally, and we're generalising here, but normally the eldest child becomes quite responsible. They're the ones that feel responsible, mainly because the parents expect a lot more of the first child than they do of the others once they come along. They're a bit nervous with the first child, so the first child's one that carries a bit of pressure from the parents. Now, generally, they feel they are much more responsible, more steady. They're ones that often do to-do lists. They're accountable. And I've got to tell you that Dr. Kevin Lehman believes he can stand on the stage and pick out in the audience all the eldest children because they'll be immaculately groomed. And so that's just a quick snapshot of the eldest. The second child often feels a little overshadowed because the eldest is very special. And so often they can feel a bit invisible and may have to fight a little bit, not literally fight, but try and stand out. And they may not have as much confidence as the eldest child does. And this also, there's other things that implement this as well. So that impact this as well. So let me give you an example. An only child also is very responsible and accountable, likely to do to-do lists. Now, I was born into a family where I had two brothers, and then there were some mishaps in between. And then when I came along, my brothers were 10 years older than me. So I developed the characteristics of an only child. It made it tougher for the second to eldest brother because he had a special child above him, which is the eldest, and then I was the first girl, so that makes me a special child. So that made him feel even a little bit more invisible. So you start thinking about what behaviours can come from this, and it starts to explain a few things. Now, the other thing is the youngest child usually has the characteristics. They are usually a lot more carefree according to this concept. They're like the little prince or the princess. They are usually a lot more spoilt. They are usually a lot more creative. Very often they can be a lot less good with money, but they're usually very creative, and they usually have a huge sense of fun. So that's what happens with the youngest child. Now, I want you to stop and think of a scenario of a blended family. So let's take a mother with two daughters and a father with two sons. Now, the eldest daughter is a special child because she's the eldest. But these two sons, the eldest is older than her and the second one is younger than her. So when you blend that family, she now becomes the second child who suddenly now feels, hey, Kate, good to see you. I'm going to call you. We're going to have a chat. So the eldest daughter has now become the second child. She now feels invisible. It's a very strong chance she's going to act out because she now feels like she's disappeared. She's in between two children that are special, both boys, and she's the second one. So I would predict that person could grow up being quite angry, feeling like they're invisible, maybe self-esteem suffers. The younger daughter is still the youngest, so no impact on her behaviour whatsoever. But I want you to think about this concept and look at, if you've got a blended family, look at the behaviour and the personality and the characteristics of each child and see how much comes from their birth order. So that's my my recommended book today. This is my book review today. This is a fabulous, interesting concept, thinking about how your birth order influences your behaviour and your personality. So the New Birth Order book by Dr. Kevin Lehman, you won't find it in bookshops unless there's a new one out. As I said, this was published in 1999, but you would certainly be able to find it on Abe Books, ABE Books, which is a global secondhand book shop. I get a lot of books off Abe Books if you wanted to get it. But if you wanted some more insights or you just want to talk about it, contact me. I find this fascinating. And it's amazing the number of times that people have contacted me. Look, let me give you a little... There's so much information in this book. They have, for example, strengths and weaknesses of each one. So the firstborn, the secondborn, the only child, the middle child, the lastborn. It makes fascinating reading. So that is my book for today from my self-development library, which I post every Thursday morning to give you some ideas of what you can read, which can be great for your development or just what you might find interesting. So that's it for today. Leave you with it. If you want to ask any questions, leave it down underneath. And that's me from Shirley's Library. Bye.